Let's talk about what we have covered so far. Okay. So can you guys tell me what did we cover yesterday? हमने कल क्या क्या किया था? What did we cover yesterday? आवाज आ रही है सबको मेरी? Okay. So yes, I'll start writing that down and आपने मेरे को बताना है हमने क्या क्या किया था. So we started with RAMs yesterday. There were two attacks that we looked at. कौन-कौन से दो attacks थे वो? कौन-कौन से attacks थे वो? Yes, there was one attack known as cold boot attack, and the other one was heart bleed, through which you can attack a RAM. Yes or no? Did we talk about this yesterday or no? Okay, great. So we talked about this yesterday. And after that, we started talking about we talked about motherboards. Okay, we did not talk in detail regarding this topic because it's more of an electrical component and thoda bahut pata hona chahiye. You just need to know a little bit about how motherboard works. Okay, because in A plus, starting from Monday, we have different types of labs that I will show you. Okay, and even in those labs, some of them will be provided virtually. So we have V labs by networkings, we have V labs by CompTIA itself, and then some of the labs will be that will be the ones that I create. Okay, so maybe I'll get a motherboard आसपास से कहीं से सस्ता सा उठा लाऊंगा, and then I'll show you how you can work with that motherboard. But gone are those days because now you're going to apply for IT jobs. So even if you land a job as a technical support engineer, what you would be expected to do is perform a software based troubleshoot or a cloud based troubleshoot. समझ आ रहा है सबको मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ कि आपको सीधे आपको एक टेक्नीशियन का काम नहीं देंगे. So you'll become a technical support engineer for a big MNC. So that is why वहां पे आपको motherboards के बारे में पता होना चाहिए. Definitely, you should know all the ins and outs of a computer. But from a job perspective, you should be knowing more and more about, software troubleshooting. All right. After that, well, before motherboards, we talked about ports. We looked at these ports. These ports were given to us, in a standardized format. So ये कुछ ना कुछ हमारे पास standards रहते हैं. वहां से ये हमारे ports निकल के आते हैं. And अगर बात करें ports की, I was talking about a project through which we got the Ethernet ports. कौन सा project था वो? Which project was that? Yes, awesome. So that was our IEEE 802 project. So 802 project जो था, उसमें से हमारी काफी स्टैंडर्ड्स निकल के आए थे, काफी पोर्ट के लिए प्रोटोकॉल्स निकल के आए थे. जो हमारी कनेक्शंस रहती हैं एमबीपीएस, जीबीपीएस, राइट, वो IEEE से निकल के आए थे. सो वी डिस्कस्ड अबाउट पोर्ट्स एंड हाउ दे अराइज्ड, कहाँ से आए थे. Then we also looked at storage. Storage की तो बात ही नहीं की हमने. We also looked at storage. Yes or no? We looked at storage. So what was there in storage? I showed you two or three types of storages. One was the SSD on my MacBook. The other one was an external hard drive. Remember? वो जिसको मैंने खोल के दिखाया था आपको, अंदर से उसमें जो components होते हैं, they are rotating components. And then I also showed you a NAS, right? NAS क्या होता है, guys? What is NAS? What is NAS? Everyone, see, you are in the session, so interact. अगर कुछ नहीं बोलोगे तो कोई फायदा नहीं है फिर सेशन का. तभी मैं बोल रहा हूँ. बकुल, मोहम्मद, शुभम, everyone, since you are here, interact. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपके मैसेजेस सारे पढ़ रहे हैं. Only I'm going to be reading your messages. Okay? So interact, guys. इतने सारे लोग हैं, बात करो, बताओ मेरे को. ठीक है. या सो वी हैव नेटवर्क अटैच्ड स्टोरेज. ठीक है. और कौन कौन सी हमारे पास स्टोरेज थी? और कौन कौन सी थी हमारे पास? क्लाउड बेस्ड स्टोरेज, राइट? वी हैव क्लाउड बेस्ड स्टोरेज. एंड देन आई ऑल्सो showed you how you work with enterprise servers. ठीक है. उन enterprise servers में you install a different type of an operating system, right? It is not really an operating system. It is actually a software named as a hypervisor. ठीक है. तो जो hypervisor provided by VMware है, that is ESXi. आप में से कोई मेरे को एक और hypervisor के बारे में बता सकता है? Can you tell me about one more hypervisor that is already there on your computer? That is already there on your Microsoft Windows based computers. Anyone? कोई बता सकता है मेरे को कि विंडोज में, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट विंडोज वाले जितने भी हमारे कंप्यूटर्स होते हैं उनमें भी एक हाइपरवाइजर होता है? ओके. हैव यू हर्ड ऑफ हाइपर-वी? यस और नो? माइक्रोसॉफ्ट के जितने लैपटॉप्स हैं उनमें यू हैव दिस हाइपरवाइजर कॉल्ड हाइपर-वी. नाउ द थिंग अबाउट हाइपर-वी इज दैट इट कम्स विद विंडोज 10 प्रोफेशनल एडिशन. ओके. So if you have a Windows 10 Home Edition, वहाँ पे the option will be present. The option will be present for Hyper-V, but you won't be able to work with it. Got it? You won't be able to work with it. So Hyper-V is a really great hypervisor or a software. So आप लोगों ने Active Directory के बारे में सुना होगा. Microsoft Server 2019. Yes or no? Have you guys heard of Microsoft Server 2019? Yes. So how can you create a lab? How can you create a lab for Microsoft Server 2019? How can you set up a small Active Directory for your practice? Because आप लोगों को शायद पता होगा या अगर नहीं पता, let me tell you that these days, if you land a job, if you land your first job as a technical support engineer, then in the interview you will be asked a lot about Active Directory, because Active Directory is basically an identity and ऑथेंटिकेशन मैनेजमेंट सर्विस. ठीक है. होता क्या है, जितनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, यू गो टू HCL, यू गो टू इन्फोसिस, यू गो टू माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट की टेक्नोलॉजी है वो, you go to any other company, so Active Directory is going to be used. Now it is going to be replaced by Azure AD, but it's going to take some time. Okay. So Active Directory सीखने के लिए, if you have a Windows laptop and if you have Hyper-V, then nothing better than that. नहीं है Hyper-V, so no need to worry. Again, मैं यही कहता हूँ, कोई एक चीज मिसिंग है, so then at that time you don't need to worry. There are other options available as well. So for that, what you can do is you can simply install VirtualBox. Okay. So yesterday we were talking about hypervisors, and I showed you how ESXi looks like. So ESXi is a hypervisor by VMware. I just finished a batch on Tuesday for VMware Virtualization Technical Associate. Okay, VMware Certified Technical Associate for data center virtualization. For data center virtualization. So we were discussing, we had our labs for ESXi, we had our labs for a technology called vSphere. So you guys must be thinking, how do we get cloud? So जब हम server plus पढ़ेंगे in our fifth week, ठीक है? First week starts from Monday. In our fifth week, we have a lot of labs in server plus. I'm also going to show you how ESXi works. Okay, because cloud कहाँ से आ रहा है? Cloud आज हमारे पास इसीलिए है, we can easily create virtual machines because of server virtualization, because of data center virtualization. Okay, that is why we have such technologies with us. So hypervisors आगे हमारे पास ESXi कल हमने देखा था that we can take up a data storage unit and we can virtualize it so that virtual machines can take them, right? Yes or no? Did we talk about that yesterday or no? Did we or did we not? हमने किया था डिस्कस कल, थोड़ा सा दिखाई थी मैंने आपको एक छोटी सी लैब, एक बिल्कुल बेसिक सी लैब थी, राइट? अब obviously IT fundamentals में I cannot teach everything in detail, so server plus में that is going to be discussed in detail. उसके बाद we talked about OS and that is where we stopped our class yesterday. So guys, revision हो चुकी है, हमने बात कर ली है what we had to cover up. अब let's come back to where we were yesterday and let's keep the same energy. So ये छोटे मोटे आंसर नहीं, नो यस नहीं, इंटरैक्टिव क्वेश्चंस पूछो, आस्क क्वेश्चंस एंड लेट्स डिस्कस OS. So OS के बारे में we discussed yesterday, we said that OS is going to be an interface between the user and the computer hardware, okay? And operating system is that entity which helps you make use of your computer, because obviously if you are a user you are going to use some applications, even if you're an advanced user like me. So suppose I have to use some tools that will help me with cybersecurity, like I have to use tools for web application penetration testing, then I will have a special purpose tool. I can either use VMware Fusion, or I can use Docker, that's another technology, or I can just simply install that tool on my operating system if it is supported. Okay, so application कोई भी हो सकती है. So based on application, you have your two types of operating system. One is going to be general purpose operating system. Then you have special purpose operating systems. So general purpose में you basically have Android, iOS, Microsoft Windows, and Mac OS. Yes, see, Raspbian is also an OS, but a lot of people consider that to be a special purpose because that will help you understand how Raspberry Pi works. ठीक है ना? A lot of students these days are learning Raspbian because आप उसके through programming कर सकते हो, आप उसके ऊपर ESXi भी setup कर सकते हो, आप उसके ऊपर hardware hacking सीख सकते हो, right? You can learn programming with Raspbian. So Raspbian एक बीच में आता है. So like not a lot of people would go for Raspbian, right, Vishal? So it's an operating system and I would consider it to be a special purpose operating system. These days, so many Linux distributions are there. ठीक है? So Linux distribution क्या चीज होती है? So the operating system is Linux, but then there is a word attached to it which is distribution. So distribution क्या होती है? कि you get a clean install of Linux, maybe Ubuntu. Okay, I'm just saying maybe Ubuntu. क्या करोगे उसके बाद आप? You are going to install some particular tools on it so as to customize the operating system according to your needs. उस ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम को पकड़ोगे, उसमें कुछ स्पेशल पर्पस टूल्स डालोगे अपनी मर्जी के, ठीक है, और उसको एक आपका पैकेज बन जाता है. सो नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस इन द मॉडर्न एरा, आपको ऐसा नहीं करना पड़ेगा कि आपको लिनक्स डाउनलोड करना पड़ेगा, लिनक्स के ऊपर अपनी मर्जी के टूल्स आपको डाउनलोड करने पड़ेंगे, वैसा नहीं है. द गेम हैज बीन चेंज्ड. अब क्या होता है, नाउ यू गेट स्पेशल पर्पस लिनक्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूशंस. आई विल टेल यू अबाउट दैट. स्पेशल पर्पस Linux distributions को we also call distros. ठीक है? So you have pen testing distros. You have malware analysis distros. बहुत है. ठीक है, बहुत ज्यादा है, इवन इतने होंगे कि आई एम नॉट इवन अवेयर ऑफ देम. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट दोज which I deal with on a day-to-day basis. There are some for maintaining anonymity distros. Then you would also have a programming distro. I haven't seen one, there would be, but you can take up a programming distro. ठीक है. So pen testing distributions आ गई हमारी Linux की, जिसमें you already get all the tools that are there for that are required for penetration testing. Okay, for example, जैसे ये आ गया मेरे पास Kali Linux. So this is the latest version of Kali Linux 2021.3, and as you can see here, it has all the applications that are required for us to learn penetration testing. ठीक है, दिख रहा है सबको ये? Is everyone able to see this? Yes or no? सबको दिख रही है ये चीज? Yes. So जैसे यहाँ पे you have tools for information gathering, you have tools for vulnerability analysis and assessment. If you want to see how you can hack into databases, then you have SQL map, and you just want to understand how databases work, so then you have this SQL Lite database browser. You have this in GUI as well as in CLI. Now, if you want to learn forensics, digital forensics, then you have tools for that as well, like Autopsy, a really great tool. Okay. Now, the first time you guys heard of penetration testing or hacking, the first thing that came in your mind, on your mind actually, was how to hack into your neighbor's Wi-Fi, right? So these are some tools present here for Wi-Fi wireless attacks as well. Now, why they will not work properly is because you need an external Wi-Fi adapter. Okay, so yeah, security class mein we are going to deal with these topics in detail. ये हम सब करने वाले हैं, but I'm just giving you an overview. So this is a penetration testing distribution. Then obviously I don't have the other distributions already there on my computer, but let me just show you. अब जैसे हमारे पास एक और operating system आता है, which is Parrot Sec. सुना होगा या नहीं? Have you guys heard of Parrot Sec or no? Parrot Security. Okay. So Parrot Security actually comes in two versions. Parrot Security आपके पास एक ऐसा operating system है which comes in two versions. So you go to download, and then here you have two editions. One is home edition. अब what is this home edition? If you are a normal user, ठीक है, आपको basic applications चलानी है. Like you want to edit documents, you want to create presentations, you want to browse the internet. Plus, in addition to that, you want to stay anonymous. Okay. Anonymous का मतलब है कि you don't want the service providers to find out your IP. Okay, or you don't find anyone or the law enforcement agency to find your IP. So here you have tools already there. Okay, there are tools already present here for keeping your identity private. For keeping your identity private. Okay. Now there is one thing which is uh, which is trending these days. We see a lot of vloggers, okay, VLOG. We see a lot of vloggers. We see a lot of influencers on Instagram, on Facebook, on other websites. Okay, it's good. It's a good business. It's really great. But what is happening in that case? Attackers को पता चल रहा है. Hackers know what you guys are doing. Okay. So if they have to launch a targeted attack on you, they will get to know about your lifestyle. They will get to know about where you live. So yes, it's a great business. I'm not against that. But if you consider it from a cybersecurity perspective, this can be dangerous. Do you guys agree with me or no? Yes or no? So this is a very sensitive topic. काफी sensitive topic है, because I don't want to talk about that, because see, लोगों का livelihood चलता है इससे, but then gives a bigger attack surface to hackers, so that they can exploit it. So in order to, be safe on the internet, you can use privacy based tools. Okay. Or if you are from any location where, your activities could be monitored, or if you are not from a very safe area, then you should go for such operating systems. Not to do anything illegal, not to do anything illegal, just to save yourself from, any unnecessary problems. You can stay anonymous. Okay, this is what I just want to tell you. मतलब इसमें कुछ वो नहीं है. I mean, Ravi, they do. But if you are, straight away telling about your lifestyle, you do this, you do that, this is your home, you stay on this street. Maybe your password is your street's name. Maybe your password is your house number. You are giving opportunity to attackers, right? This is what I'm telling you. So these are some things that need to be taken care of. Okay. Other than that, you have Sajid, it's there on YouTube. It's there on YouTube on networking's channel. Uh, and there are two videos, IT fundamentals day 1 and IT fundamentals day 2. If you can't find it, towards the end of today's session, I'll show you where the videos are. Okay. Now there is one more distribution here that is used for overall cybersecurity, which is this one. Okay, इसका नाम है Parrot Security. So Parrot Security has almost all the tools that Kali Linux has. And if you want to learn malware analysis, then you can use Parrot Security as well. So this is a really good operating system. And just to let you know, ये जो operating system है, this operating system is lighter than Kali Linux. I literally have a very old device. Okay, so if you guys have old computers which you think will not run anymore, try single booting Parrot OS on them, and they will work very smoothly. Literally. If you want an extra machine to practice, जिसके साथ आप experiment कर सको, use your old machine, very old machine जिसका आपको कोई काम नहीं लगता आजकल, ठीक है? And then install Parrot OS on it. It will take only 760 MB of RAM. उसमें भी ये बहुत मजे से चलेगा. 4 GB तो it's like gold mine for this operating system. Okay, so this is Parrot OS. Then you have other operating systems as well, like, just give me a minute. थोड़ा सा the computer is lagging. I think I need to shut this operating system down right now. Okay, and let me kill other apps as well, so that speciality about Parrot OS is that it can be used for general purpose as well. It's lightweight, Ravi. It can be used for maintaining anonymity, and it can also be used for learning cybersecurity based concepts, putting your concepts into practice. Okay. Then this was an example of a special purpose operating system. Any other special purpose operating system, guys, that you see in your day-to-day life? कोई आप special purpose operating system बता सकते हो मेरे को? Operating system के बारे में सबको पता है, but can you tell me about any special purpose operating system? What about the operating system for your PlayStation, PS4, PS5, PS3, PS2? What about your operating system on Xbox? Can they be considered special purpose operating systems? क्या हम उनको special purpose operating systems कह सकते हैं या नहीं? What about the operating systems used by, smart vehicles like Tesla? They're all special purpose operating systems. If you think that you will create a Microsoft document or a Microsoft Word document with your PS4, you can't do that, right, Vishal? right, guys? So these are special purpose operating systems, and they will be there for different types of tasks. Like one more special purpose operating system is RemNox. So this is an operating system which is used for learning malware analysis. Ransomware aajkal aa rahe hain. How do you prevent yourself from such attacks? How can you analyze such attacks? That's done via RemNox. Okay. So there are a lot of special purpose operating systems that you need to be aware of. Okay. And now in our next lab today itself, we are going to see what special purpose operating systems can do. How can they help us out in some specific cases? Okay. So coming to file management tools. Okay. So yeah, anonymity. Anonymity हुआ कि देखो, if you are using the internet and if you do something illegal using the internet and you're not using any privacy based extension, तो क्या हो सकता है? If you do anything illegal या गलत करते हो, you can easily be caught using your IP. Okay, your IP address. Anonymity means that you can change it. Okay, you can use browsers like Tor. Okay, do you guys know about Tor? This is Tor. You guys know about Tor? Yes or no? Anyone? Okay. So this is a special purpose browser. This is a special application, okay, created by Mozilla. So it's based on Mozilla. अगर आप इसको और Mozilla Firefox को देखोगे, if you compare them, they will be the same. They will be similar actually. So the framework is of Mozilla, but this browser is a little different because what it does is that it actually routes your traffic over a different type of network, not the internet, not the internet. Okay, not the internet. This is Tor network. Tor means the onion routing. Onion routing का मतलब होता है कि your IP will get changed multiple times. So to be precise, 3 times. Your IP will get changed 3 times. So if I have to show this diagrammatically, this is your computer. This is a website that you have to access. Now inside this Tor network, there will be multiple nodes. Multiple nodes. ठीक है? Randomly, what happens is that your IP will get changed here for the first time, here for the second time, here for the third time, and then you will connect to the website. You guys have also heard of VPNs, yes or no? VPNs, virtual private networks, yes or no? सबने यूज किए होंगे VPNs कुछ ना कुछ डाउनलोड करने के लिए, right? So for VPNs, what happens is that your IP just gets changed once. Your IP just gets changed once, right? So क्या होगा उसके बाद आपका? Your IP gets changed once. Tor में gets changed thrice. So Shubham, right? So if you are using dual VPN and over that Tor, over that if you are using Tor, yes, it will get changed for 5 times. But with VPN, you know how do you connect it? Okay. With VPN, you know how your location gets changed. It is up to you. With Tor, you don't know. Tor में randomly कोई भी country का use कर सकते हो. So Ravi, this is actually known as the Tor network, or you use this browser to use something. So when we use our browsers like Safari, Chrome, Firefox, we access World Wide Web. Okay, we access World Wide Web. With Tor, we are able to access what? We are able to access something which is known as dark web.
Hi, you are watching the recording from one of our live session. Hit like, share, and subscribe for more future updates.
Okay. So what do you do in this case? You use Tor to connect to the dark web. So I'm not going to teach you how to connect to the dark web right now. Okay. Because this is going to go on YouTube as well. So I'm going to click here on connect. And if you see, and have to look at the Tor logs. I have to look at the Tor logs. Right now, it is first creating a connection. It is first creating a connection. Okay. Now, what does it say? Explore privacy. You are ready for the world's most private browsing experience. So this is what you call anonymity. Okay. So Shubham, I'll come back to your question privately. ठीक है, मैं उसके बारे में भी आपके साथ और discuss करूंगा. This is more, you know, discussed in detail in, you know, security plus. But Shubham, nahi, you will not get, you are not traceable if you are using this. You are not, believe me. There are techniques for finding out, but they are highly advanced. And uske liye you have to go through a very legal stuff. I'm talking about law enforcement agencies. So if I go here and if I just write network kings, how will they find out your public IP? Okay, so if I go to network kings, you will see that my region has changed here and I'm actually using a different browser. Okay, I'm using a different browser here. All right, and now basically with Tor, what you have is you have different types of security settings. Right now, I'm using a standard Tor setting. इसमें क्या होगा? I can see the images, I can see the videos easily. There is not going to be any problem. But as soon as I go to safer, I'll come back to that as well. Okay. So uske liye I'll have to talk about DNS as well. Right now, I won't talk about DNS. DNS is there in Network Plus. So वहां से हमारा background establish होगा for DNS. I'll come to your question when we are done with the session. Okay, don't worry. So अभी I'm just giving you an overview. Safer में क्या होगा, guys? Safer में JavaScript is disabled on non-HTTPS websites. But if you use the safest here, if you use the safest mode, then what is going to happen? At that time, images will not be there, symbols will not be there, math symbols will not be there, and even some fonts will not be there. Okay. Yes, Shubham, these are a little advanced questions. I'll come back to that. ठीक है, मैं आपको सारा clear करूंगा. Don't worry. Okay, Shubham and Arun, I'll do that. Don't worry. So this is a special purpose browser and it is already there in Parrot OS. ठीक है, so हम बात कर रहे थे operating systems की. Now we are going to talk about something which is a file management tool. Okay, which is a file management tool. What is this? ये जो image यहाँ पे पड़ी है, the image that we have here. Can you tell me what is this? ये किसका icon है? Which icon is this? That's the file explorer, right? So what is file explorer? File explorer is just a file management tool. Okay, just like when you have to manage your physical files, you keep them in a drawer or you keep them in a cabinet. Similarly, if we have a lot of files in our, you know, on our computer that we have to store persistently or non-persistently. Kya term? Which term am I going to use here? These file explorers, these file management tools, do they store data persistently, permanently, or like for temporary purposes? Yes. What do they do? What do these tools do? Are you sure, Ravi? Guys, फाइल एक्सप्लोरर पे या फाइल मैनेजमेंट टूल्स जो भी आप यूज कर रहे हैं, उस पे आपकी फाइल्स परमानेंटली स्टोर्ड रहती हैं, टेम्पररी होती हैं? जैसे इफ यू एज सून एज यू टर्न ऑफ योर कंप्यूटर दे विल बी इरेज्ड, क्या होगा? What will happen? Yes, everyone. It's going to be permanent, right? It's going to be permanent. So this is just one of the file management tools. Now, why is a file management tool necessary? Why is a file management tool necessary? Because it helps you, keep track of your, files. Now, there are actually two ways through which you can manage your files and your folders. For a general purpose user, ठीक है, जो एक general purpose user है, जो एक जनरल पर्पस यूजर है, वो क्या करेगा? यस रवि, दे आर डिफरेंट, बट हाउ कैन यू एक्सेस दैट पोर्शन ऑफ योर स्टोरेज? आप कैसे एक्सेस करोगे उसको रवि? थ्रू योर फाइल एक्सप्लोरर और अ फाइल मैनेजमेंट टूल, ठीक है? सो द फाइल्स दैट आर ऑलरेडी देयर ऑन योर सिस्टम एंड आर स्टोर्ड परमानेंटली, उनको आप एक्सेस करोगे थ्रू अ टूल, थ्रू एन एप्लीकेशन. दिस इज दैट एप्लीकेशन which is pre-installed on your computer. Now, Bishal, you have put a great point. Now, I said, why is a file management tool necessary? And most of you will think that, and there's no problem in thinking like that, we only have this as the only medium to access our files and interface, our files and folders, right? But let me just show you that we have other ways through which we can access our files and folders. Okay. So let's suppose I want to find out what is there inside this folder. Okay. Now on Mac OS, we have something else. On Mac OS, we have a file management tool जिसका नाम है Finder. Okay. So what is File Explorer in Windows is Finder in Mac OS. Is Finder in Mac OS. So this is my Finder. Okay. If I click here, this is downloads, this is documents, this is desktop applications. Okay. So this is a file management tool. Okay. यहाँ से I can also see my applications, कौन सी installed है. All right. So if I have to find out or if I have to manage these files and folders, I can also do that via my terminal. ठीक है. This is via command line interface. So what we can do here is I can actually create a directory. So I'll go here cd desktop. इससे क्या होगा? What will happen when I do this? This will actually make me go here. ठीक है, यहाँ पे this is my desktop, right? This is my desktop. ये सारा मेरा desktop है. So what I'm going to do here is I will go to the desktop, but via my command line interface. Then what will I do? If I have to create a folder on my desktop, then I write new folder and I'll name the folder IT fundamentals. Okay. And if I want to do the same thing via my terminal, I'll write so Mazar, there is no group chat because on the first day and on the second day, we have some elements in the session who are just, talking nonsense in the chat box. Okay, so that is why I've only enabled the option for where you can talk to me. You can talk to the host. Okay, so there is no group chat right now. Got it, Mazar? So if you have to do the same, guys, अगर आपको same folder बनाना है, similar बनाना है आपको folder यहाँ पे अपने desktop में, so you write a command mkdir. mkdir means make directory. ठीक है, directory is a folder. So mkdir, I write IT fundamentals 2. ठीक है. And as you can see here, a new directory has been created. So हमारी class के लिए, for our class today, because this is IT fundamentals, not Linux fundamentals, right? So we will talk about GUI based tools only. Okay, we will only talk about GUI based tools, graphical user interface, not the command line interface. Okay, ठीक है, ये तो मेरे को पता है कि आपके पास विंडोज में you can use file explorer. Any other file management tool that you can use on your operating system, be it Windows or Mac? कोई होता है और? Is there any other? Now, what if you open your Google Drive? What if you open your Google Drive? वहां पे क्या होता है? Same है ना? That's also a file manager. That's also a file management tool, right? Launchpad. Launchpad is not going to be exactly a file management tool. Okay, file management tool Mazar is going to be your finder. Okay, because on your launchpad you will be able to see just the applications, not your individual files and folders. Okay, what else? If you are using any other drive like Mega Drive, or if you are using Apple Drive, Google Drive, Dropbox, they also give you a file management tool, but it is web based, right? Because you are accessing that through a browser. If you install the Google Drive application, okay, you just like you do it on your Android phone or on your iOS, which is your iPhone, you can see that you also get one more file management tool. Okay? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. And Vijay, for your question, yes, you can do that. You can use mkdir. Okay. It will also work on Linux. Got it? So any other file management tools जो आप लोगों को पता है? Any other file management tools, guys? Yep. Your shared drive, Despot, okay. Others, ठीक है. So yeah, these are the main file management tools. I'll also show you the file management tool for what? I'll also show you the file management tool for Linux. ठीक है, especially Kali Linux, जो मेरे पास पड़ा है उसी का मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा. Let's open Kali Linux. Don't upgrade. Let it open up. ठीक है. I'll also show you how it works now. What others do you have? You have your Google Desktop. You have your Double Commander. You have your OneDrive. ठीक है. You have your OneDrive. If you download it for your phone, you can also access that. Okay. Then you have Direct Opus as well. Okay. So there are a lot of file management tools that are available. You would know it's natural. आपको सबके बारे में नहीं पता हो सकता. You will only know about those file management tools that are pre-installed on your computer. Okay. So let Kali Linux open up. And before we, go ahead with something, I'll also talk about file extensions. इसके बाद we have a topic for backups, but since we are on file management tools, we'll also talk about file extensions. What is file extension? What is a file extension? What is a file extension, guys? So you have different types of files, right? You have different types of files, right? Some of the times the extension is attached. Vijay, I'll talk about that as well, don't worry. Some of the times it is or mentioned there explicitly as a suffix. Okay, so यहाँ पे आपकी फाइल का नाम होगा, जो भी name of the file, doc, telling you that it's a doc file. Name dot ppt, that's a PowerPoint file. If you have an executable file or an application, then it will be exe for Windows, DMG for Mac. Okay, so we just use file extensions to find out what kind of file are we working with. Okay, and accordingly there are different types of tools that will work for these file extensions. अब जैसे अगर मैं कोशिश करूंगा एक वर्चुअल मशीन की फाइल के लिए, so if I try to open a OVA file that is used for virtual machines and I run it on PowerPoint presentation, no, it will not work, right? It's a simple concept. It might crash your application. ठीक है, कुछ applications will straight away reject that format or that file extension, but some of them will just crash. Okay, now file extensions के बारे में सबको पता है. I know that everyone knows about file extensions, but दो चीजें जो मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं that can be done through Linux, through which you can find out about the file format of a particular file if the extension is not provided. ठीक है, number one is that. How do you find out file format of a file for which the extension has not been provided? Number one. And number two is this. Have you guys ever faced a situation like this where you have downloaded a file from the internet, but when you run it on your computer or when you run it on your phone, it does not work? जैसे images होती हैं, images are broken. Have you guys seen that? So image होगी अगर, तो उसका ऊपर का हिस्सा चलेगा, नीचे का it will be missing. Have you guys ever faced a problem like that? Or have you guys faced a problem with videos? You have a video, it's a 1 hour video, works for 10 minutes, then you get an error on VLC. VLC पे आपको error आता है. The file is broken. Have you ever got a problem like that? Have you ever faced a problem like that, guys? Right? So we will also try to fix files today. Okay. This is a little advanced. This is, discussed in Security Plus, actually, because at that time we will be dealing with different files and file extensions. But I wanted to show you because this is a really cool thing. So आप files download करते हो, आप movies download करते हो, नहीं चल पाती हैं. How do you fix that? ठीक है, because a lot of people think चल नहीं रहा है, इसको delete कर दो. Just delete it because it's not working. But let's see if we have any option available, to us. So for that, I'm going to go to Linux. ठीक है जी. So I'll bring my chat box here so that you guys can do it. So first of all, this is the file management tool for Kali. So this is GUI based tool with which you can easily manage your Kali Linux files and folders. Okay? But there is no problem actually. The only difference here is that you do not call it a folder here. ये जो आपको boxes दिख रहे हैं, ये जो आपको cabinets दिख रहे हैं, these are not folders. इनका जो नाम होता है, we call them directories. ठीक है? On Windows you call them folders. On Linux you call them directories. Even on Mac OS you call them directories. ठीक है जी? The same thing. It's downloads folder. यहाँ पे आप उनको क्या बोलोगे? Download directory. Now I want to show you something. I actually installed this file by myself. ठीक है जी? So this is a file which contains malware. This has real world malware. This is not, a joke. I'm not kidding at all here. इसमें असली का वायरस है, जिसमें असली का malware है. ठीक है जी? So this is your file. इसके साथ what extension is there? What kind of extension is attached to it? What is the extension here? दिख रहा है आपको? Sample dot के बाद जो है वो that's a extension. So the extension is bin, which means that it's a binary file. It is at some point of time going to get executed. Yes or no? Yes or no? ठीक है जी. So this is a bin file. Once opened, this could get executed. Okay. और या तो फिर it could be maybe a file which could be compressed. But हमें लग रहा है, see, we think that this is a binary file and it is going to get executed. That is the normal perception. But I will show you a tool here through which you can find out the exact extension here. असली में ये है क्या? This looks like a bin file, but अंदर क्या है इसके? What is inside it? So for that, I will have to go to my terminal. ठीक है जी? I will go to this directory. So कैसे पता चलेगा मेरे को मैं किस directory में हूँ? I am inside a folder or a directory called maldocs, जो किसके अंदर है, which is inside downloads, वो जो किसके अंदर है, Kali के अंदर, और Kali है home के अंदर. So I'll write this cd/home/Kali/downloads/maldoc101. I'll hit enter. अब now I am inside the same directory जो मैं GUI में हूँ. ठीक है, I'm in the same directory. And now I'll write a command called ls. ठीक है, यहाँ पे here I am able to see the contents that there is a file called sample.bin, but on Linux I will have to enter a command which is ls, list the contents of the directory. ठीक है, ls का क्या मतलब होता है? ls means list the contents of the directory. All right, so this is what this command means. After writing this down, I know one thing for sure, which is that I have this sample.bin file with me. So we guys think that's a binary, it might get executed, or it is a compressed file. We have no idea. So I'm going to use a command called file. मैं क्या use करूँगा? I'll use a command called file. It's a pre-built command in Linux. ये क्या करता है? आपको बताता है कि फाइल किस टाइप की है. So if I do file sample.bin, what are you able to find out? इसको पढ़ो थोड़ा सा ध्यान से. Try to understand this, what it is. Composite document file v2 document. How was it created? Name of creating application Microsoft Office Word. Can you guys see this? Are you guys able to see this? How many pages are there? 1. How many words are there? 3. ठीक है? So Vijay, when you had a question, how do you find out the exact format of a file? You use this command in Linux and you will be able to find this out. I think you can do this in Windows as well, but to be very honest, I am not a Windows user. ठीक है? So मैं Windows इतना चलाता नहीं हूँ. मेरे पास था, I used to have Windows. ठीक है? अब because all the work that I need to do वो Mac से ही होता है. All right. So if I have to perform any forensics based things, if I have to learn malware analysis, तो जो उसका directory system है Mac का, वो that helps me in working with Linux as well. All right. So I have Mac, so I can tell you about Mac and I can tell you about Linux. Windows के लिए, to be very honest, I have no idea right now, but I can find that out. Okay. Or you can just right click on it, find with properties. But even there, I think when you do it, even there, I think when you do it, you will just get it as a binary format. वहां पे आपको exact format नहीं पता चलेगा. All right. But I will definitely look into it further. ठीक है? I've never done it with Windows. I think there are tools called PE Explorer. Yes, exactly Windows पे नहीं होगा. किस पे होगा वो? There is another operating system जो Windows based है. उसका नाम है Flare VM. Okay, let me ask you this, everyone. मैं आपसे पूछता हूँ एक चीज. दुनिया में सबसे ज्यादा malware या ransomware किस operating system के लिए बनते हैं? For which platform, for which operating system platform do we have the maximum number of ransomware attacks and the malware attacks? Windows, right? So what if guys and girls, I teach you malware analysis using Linux? Will that be a right approach? No, I don't think so. आपको पता ही नहीं चलेगा if I teach you malware analysis on Linux. ठीक है? I can show you how malware is. What do you think should be the best approach? Windows पे ही सिखाऊं तभी पता चलेगा how to reverse engineer that. Yes or no? I should actually teach you on Windows. Okay? So if you guys were thinking कि नहीं यार अब मेरा जो operating system है वो खराब हो जाएगा अगर मैं उस पर ransomware चलाऊंगा, because you can easily get ransomware. Okay? There are samples which you can download officially on the internet. There are websites, okay, through which you can download malware samples for research purposes, not for infecting your ex-girlfriend's account. Don't do that. Okay, that is not the right approach. Okay, you should actually download those research-based samples for carrying out research, not to infect your friends and family or your rivals. ठीक है ना? So there is a company called FireEye. Big name in cyber security. Big name. बहुत बड़ा नाम है उसका cyber security में. It's FireEye. So FireEye created an operating system. It's called Flare VM. So what do you need for that? You need a Windows 7. How will you get that Windows 7? You run it as a virtual machine on your operating system. On top of that, there will be this new operating system, which is Flare. ठीक है? सारे के सारे tools, all the tools that you require for learning malware analysis, for learning reverse engineering, they will be here. Okay, so this is how it looks like. You have to run a small script. After running that small script, when your operating system automatically change its desktop wallpaper, it means that you have now Flare VM. So you have all the tools here. You have VB, you have hex editors, you have debuggers, disassemblers. A lot of malware is written in .NET language. So for that, you have tools here to help you out. Okay. So in Security Plus, in CYSA Plus, we have to discuss this. Okay, guys. So what do we have? And देख लो यहाँ पे you have this tool called CFF Explorer. You have this tool called CFF Explorer. यहाँ से you can do it. Okay. How to do it on a regular Windows, I'm not sure. But if you're using Flare VM, you can easily do it. You can easily do it. Got it? Really soon, I am going to upload a video on Networking's YouTube channel on how to install Flare VM. Okay, because this is something which a lot of people want to have on their computer, but there are a few issues which people face due to which this does not get installed. All right, so I'll create a video for that. Do not worry at all. Okay, guys. So coming back to my Kali Linux. Now, I was telling you one more thing that I'm going to teach you. You download a file, the format is broken. Okay. Yeah, sure, Shubham, I'll do that. Okay. You download a file and the format is broken. हुआ होगा आपके साथ, like I have here. I have this image called leavemealone.png. चल नहीं रही. It actually took me to some other image. ठीक है? देखना, guys, look at it carefully. This is an image called Queen's Gambit PNG. चल रही है? You see this ship. There is this JPG image which is opening. Okay, it's actually from a TV series called Arrow. Okay, it's a character from DC Comics. ठीक है? Green Arrow. Then if I open this image, leave.
Hi, you are watching the recording from one of our live session. Hit like, share, and subscribe for more future updates.
Let's look at its file format. By which command will I look at its file format? मैं कौन सी command लगाऊंगा जिससे उसका file format पता चल जाएगा मुझे? अभी बताई मैंने. I just told you guys. Which command am I going to use? File is the command. File is the command. Okay. File से पता चलेगा मुझे कैसे चलानी है वो. So I'll write file and the name of the image was leavemealone.png. Data. What is data? I am not sure about that. But the extension is PNG. And in the file, with the file command, if you see something like this, it means that the image is broken. Image टूटी हुई है. Image is not there completely. There must be an issue when I was downloading this. If I look for the other image, which was AA, or there was one more image called Queen's Gambit. Isme you are able to see that it's a PNG image data. It's 1280 into 720, which is the format resolution. You can find this out, right? How do I fix this image? That's a big question. Okay. So obviously you guys are not aware of this right now, but I'll teach you a small trick जिससे आप क्या कर सकते हो, एक फाइल को फिक्स कर सकते हो, with which you can fix a file. ठीक है. Works in almost all the cases. Almost बोला मैंने. I said almost, not every case. So first of all, what is the extension for the file which is not working? What is the extension for the file which is not working? What is the extension for the file which is not working? It's PNG, right guys? Am I able to open the other image which is queensgambit.png? क्या मैं उसको खोल पा रहा हूँ? Am I able to open it? उसको तो खोल पा रहा हूँ ना मैं. I was able to see a ship there. Yes. So now what will I do here? I will actually open up a tool called Hex Editor. ठीक है जी. This is a tool called Hex Editor. अभी I'll press Ctrl C. With Hex Editor, I will be able to find out the problem in the first image. ठीक है. With reference to the second image, क्योंकि second image ठीक है, उसको मैं एक point of reference रखूंगा और देखूंगा कि पहली वाली में क्या गलती है. So keeping the second image as a point of reference, I will try to correct the issues in the first one. All right. So let's see how we can do it. All right. Hex editor queensgambit.png. Okay. Now what I see is everything in blue. So I'm actually going to change how it looks. So I'll go to appearance and I'll actually change the color scheme. I'll use solarized. Okay. Can you guys now see here? Is it now visible properly? Is it visible to everyone? Yes. ठीक है जी. So हम गए यहाँ पे. इसको what I'll do is I will actually keep it here. Okay. ठीक है. So I'll actually keep it here. Wait. ये आ गया इसका and I'll open one more terminal now and I write hex editor leavemealone.png. And now if you compare it, okay, now if you compare it, you will be able to see that यहाँ पे you are getting IHDR, but you are not able to see PNG. यहाँ पे क्या आता है हमारे पास? If I open it up completely, you will see that यहाँ पे you see the format. Are you guys able to see the format? So this is what this is image and its metadata. Image के अंदर बहुत चीजें होती हैं, ठीक है? Image के अंदर you can also find out that using which camera did you click that image, what is the size of that image. There are some physics based concepts, there are some concepts related to sampling. Okay, digital sampling, वो हमारे यहाँ की मतलब की बात नहीं है, ठीक है? So that is there in metadata. Who clicked this image, when was this image clicked? Okay, everything is there. So the first thing in an image when you open it up with a tool called hex editor, you see the metadata and यहाँ पे आपको उसका hexadecimal code दिखेगा. क्या दिखेगा? Hexadecimal code. अब ये जो फर्स्ट लाइन है ना, .png .ihdr, वो कैसे बन रही है? उसका हेक्साडेसिमल कोड किया, जो पहली लाइन है, द फर्स्ट लाइन रिप्रेजेंट्स द हेक्साडेसिमल कोड फॉर .png ihdr. Okay, for the second image, this is the second image, and let me open the first image once more. Actually थोड़ी सी compatibility नहीं बैठ रही है, दूसरी खुल नहीं पा रही image. Okay, now I have it here. अब all I'm going to do, ध्यान से देखना guys, look at this stuff very carefully. All I'm going to do here is I am actually going to change the hexadecimal code. Why am I going to do that? Because इसको ऊपर ले आते हैं. I'll just bring it up. Okay, here the code is yes, Shubham. The first line is always the file type. The first line is always going to be the file type, Shubham. You can check that with as many files as you want with hex editor. ठीक है, यहाँ पे it is coming out to be 89504E47 0D010A000, which comes out to be PNG IHDR. यहाँ पे the numbering is different. ठीक है ना, यहाँ 89 है, यहाँ 58 है. Here it's 89, here it's 58. I'll show you. So what do I need to do? I need to match. I need to start matching. Whatever is given here needs to be the same as here. All right. So what will I do here? Let's check. First of all, find out how I can enter. Okay, so I'll start writing. I write 8950. जो ऊपर दिखा है, whatever is written here in the first image, I'm trying to mimic that. So 8950 for E47. So Rashid bhai, you can watch the video on YouTube. It has been uploaded. Okay, it's there on YouTube now. 0D, 0A, 1A, 0A. Okay, and then you have 0000000D. And guys, if we now look at this image and if I open it up, can you see that now we are getting PNG? Yes or no? We are getting PNG. But again, what I will do here is I will press Control X, I will save it. And when I save it and I open it with GUI, this was the image, right? Leave me alone. Now if I open it, tada, there you go. The image is working. Cool or no? Boring. What do you think, guys? Okay. So anytime you download a movie, it's not working, just try to get another MP4 and try to see the small problems in the format itself. Okay, because it might seem like an MP4, but when you're downloading it and there might be congestion in your network, so it is possible that some of the file portions could get damaged at that time. Okay, this is the easiest way to repair a file. Even VLC does that. Even VLC's default behavior to repair a file is this. There are advanced techniques as well, but अब वो एडवांस टेक्निक्स मैंने बोला ना, दिस मेथड वर्क्स इन ऑलमोस्ट ऑल द केसेस, नॉट all the cases. So you can apply such techniques. So this is what I wanted to show you. Like, you have extensions, you don't know what they are, you use the file command present on Linux. It's there on all Linux operating systems, even if you're using Ubuntu. Okay? No, the whole file might change, Shubham, if you just change one word. But your goal is to work around with the, you are going to work around with the extension. Okay? So pehle bhi I was able to see that it was .png file, but when I opened it, it was not working. So the hex values associated, dhyan se sunna, guys, everyone, try to listen, try to hear me out carefully. The file format is going to be in, alphabets. There will be a mapping for those alphabets in hexadecimal. So you need to change the whole line of hexadecimal values so as to get the same format. So what do you do in this case? You keep a reference file with you, and that will be very helpful. Okay. So ऐसा नहीं है कि you need to have the same MP4 file. Even if you have any other MP4 file, you can just Google hex editor file repair. It will be very helpful for you. Okay. So this is something that you can do, because I've seen a lot of people just download, tools, and those tools are mostly paid. So in order to avoid that issue, you can go ahead with such tools. Hex editor. It's available for free. Okay. Then comes backup. Then comes backup. Guys, next topic is backup. What is backup? Why do you need to backup? Backups के बारे में सबको पता है. You back up your WhatsApp chats. You back up your what? You back up your system files. You back up your important files and folders. You back up your educational documents, so that if you lose access to your device, so even if a small disaster happens, a disaster could be as big as an earthquake, as big as a storm, or it could be a simple disaster for your computer, like the battery stops working, okay, or the hard drive stops working, or the operating system gives up on you, or the chip inside your computer it stops working, there's an issue with your motherboard. Okay. So a disaster could be as big as a natural disaster or a man-made disaster or a simple, you know fault that shuts down your computer and you're unable to use it. So just to let you know, yes, your device is very important. You paid a lot of money to buy your device, but what's more important is the data on it, right? You could have your private files, you could have your private messages, you could have a lot of data. So your main goal is to back up your data as much as possible. There are a lot of ways through which you can back up your data. You have Google Drive, 15 GB is free, but you guys now know that Google has come up with something. Kya cheez hai wo? Does anyone know that, for photos, first, if you kept them in a specific format, then you could keep as many photos as possible on your Google Photos. Remember that? But now you have to pay as soon as that 15 GB space exceeds. If you exceed your storage limits, yes or no? So जैसे ही आपकी वो 15 GB खत्म हो जाती है, अब आपको नया लेना पड़ेगा उसके लिए, right? You cannot back up your photos for free anymore. 15 GB की लिमिट के बाद चाहे आप अपनी इमेज कैसे भी स्टोर करो, you have to pay for that. And let me be very honest, there is nothing wrong in paying a small amount to back up your large data. Why? Because बाद में, in order to invest in data recovery solutions, yeah, in order to go through a lot of hassle of recollecting the data, check करना मेरी email में तो नहीं ये document में थी, whether this document was in my email or whether this document was on somebody else's pen drive. To avoid yourself from that, going through that hassle, try to back your data up. Okay. So there are a lot of ways through which you can back up your data. Uh, well, enterprises do that on a regular basis. I'm not going to talk about enterprises. I'm going to talk about from the perspective of regular users like us. Okay. So here I'll teach you a small rule. I haven't created that rule. It's there on the internet. You can find that out. The name of the rule is 3-2-1 rule. ठीक है? So जब भी आप बैकअप्स करेंगे, whenever you perform a backup, you should always follow this rule. What is 3 here? You should always have 3 copies of your data. If you have an important file which you think that you might lose, you should always have 3 copies of your data. You should store it on 2 different storage units. One on your external hard drive and one on your flash drive. Just giving you an example. And even they can crash. Okay? That is why I'm telling you to have 3 copies of data. And one means that there should be one off-site copy, which should be on cloud. Got it? So guys and girls, always remember this rule. Whenever you're backing something up, I'll show you. I have a file. Okay? So I'll go here. So I told you guys that I work with assembly language. So I took this course one by a professor from University of Nebraska, United States. He has the best course ever on assembly language. आजकल आप अगर assembly language पे courses देखोगे, you won't find any because nobody uses assembly language. But me, I'm a guy who deals with malware samples. So I need to learn. I need to understand how assembly language works. So this is basically a template that makes assembly language easier. Okay, how I have to learn assembly language, this process is going to make it very, very easy for me, this particular template. One day I was trying to go onto the website from where I enrolled that course, and you won't believe that the file was missing. So it was hosted on his website, but now that file is no more. So I have this file and I followed the same rule, which is the 3-2-1 rule, because this is very helpful for me and not just for a few years. This is going to help me out forever throughout my career. That is why I've kept it. I have 3 copies of this file. I have kept it on my pen drive. I have kept it on my external hard drive. And I know that these drives are, physical components, so they can fail at any point of time. I can never be sure of that. So that is why I have one offsite copy as well on my cloud, on my Google Drive. So guys, did you understand this? Backups के बारे में this rule. Backups के बारे में each and every one of you knows that. Backup क्या होता है? सबको पता है. But do you now know the 3-2-1 rule? Can you now tell me about the 3-2-1 rule? What is 3-2-1 rule? Write that down in the chat box. What is 3-2-1 rule? क्या है 3-2-1 rule? Three copies of data, 2 storage units, and 1 copy on your cloud storage. Okay. So whether you are an IT professional or you are just a student who's from any other domain, okay. So if you are from arts, if you're from commerce, any other background, you must be using computer for your important files. If you're writing your thesis, use this rule 3-2-1. If you're doing something important, use this rule. It will help you out. Okay. So let's go to the next slide now. The next slide is about application software. Okay, it's about application software. Again, we have been talking about operating system. We have been talking about how we can use applications. So ये भी आपको पता है. So I'm not going to waste time on application softwares. Application softwares are general purpose and they could be special purpose. For example, you buy a Windows laptop, you get this pre-installed. This is general purpose. Everyone uses this. You go here on your launch pad. Okay, I have this. Wait, where did my calculator? I have this calculator. I have this calculator. This is general purpose application. Obviously, it will be different from the calculator that is there on Windows. The interface will be different. The outlook will be different. Okay, but this is a general purpose software. Now, what could be considered as a special purpose application? This Tor, Visual Studio Code, VirtualBox, VMware Fusion. Okay, so these days even Zoom is considered to be a general purpose application. Why? Because everyone is using this for meetings, for classes, for conveying important information to your peers and your friends. So everyone uses Zoom. Even when you have to go through a video call, people use Zoom, like with your family. So Zoom is now considered to be a general purpose application. Before COVID, it used to be a special purpose application, right? So these are some general purpose applications and some special purpose applications. What I want to tell you, terminal, see, terminal is always going to be there, Vijay, okay? But it completely depends on the needs of a user. So to be to be very honest, it's a general purpose application. Why? Because before we had GUI, before we had Microsoft, at that time we used to work with DOS, right? So DOS में तो आते ही हमारे पास terminals थे, right? We used to have terminals. Okay. What I want to talk about is IUU. For any application that you install on your laptop, which is Mac OS, which is Windows, which is, or your phone, which is iOS or Android, or on your tablet, which is again Android or iPad OS. For every application, you should follow this cycle: install, update, uninstall. Install is the first step. If you have to use an application, you install it. But you should always update it, guys. मैंने बहुत लोग देखे, I've seen a lot of people who do not update their apps. Most of the updates are not related to, interface change. What happens is that after using an application, you get used to the interface. Like for Facebook, है ना? For Facebook, for LinkedIn, for other applications, you get used to the interface. For Instagram as well. But some of the updates are not for UI. They are actually security patches as well. Every day, every day, guys, a new vulnerability is found. Every day in the world, a new vulnerability is found. Vulnerability can lead to attacks. Okay. So application developers perform patching of those applications. So whenever you get an update for an application, do that for sure. Do not delay. ऐसा नहीं यार मेरे को इसका इंटरफेस पसंद नहीं है इसलिए मैं इसको अपडेट नहीं करने वाला. I've seen a lot of Apple users जैसे भाई iOS 13 अच्छा था, iOS 15 जो आया ना मजा नहीं आ रहा. I know मजा नहीं आएगा, धीरे धीरे आना शुरू हो जाएगा, but at least update your phone or upgrade your phone so that your operating system is not vulnerable to exploits. What am I talking about? अभी आपको लग रहा है अभी मैं सिर्फ बकवास कर रहा हूँ. I'm just, you know, just blabbering about something. Okay, let me show you one thing. There is a website called exploitdb. Okay, Okay, let it, yeah, there you go. Exploit DB. Basically, this is from this exploit database is created by a company called OffSec or Offensive Security. If you guys know about cybersecurity certifications, then OSCP is one of them. Offensive Security Certified Professional. It's a very famous certification in cybersecurity. Okay? It has been created by OffSec, and it has also created exploit database. Every day, they are trying to security researchers all over the world. Okay? Security does not mean just hack into people's computers. Security is also about research. That is why cybersecurity is is a different field. Cybersecurity is not like a lot of fields. Everyone wants to become a cybersecurity researcher or an analyst, but you have to spend like most of your life learning new concepts. Just let me tell you, I have a meme as well. Wait a second, I'll share it with you here in class. Where is it? Let me find out. Okay, I'll just give me 1 minute. I'll actually share it with all of you. Just let me add it to my computer. I'll save it. Photos. And I'll share it via airdrop. Let me see if I received it. Yeah, can you see this, guys? This is not a meme. This is reality. Who wants to learn to hack? Everyone. Who wants to spend 95% of their life studying new concepts to become a decent hacker? No one. No one in the world. Okay. So to become a hacker, you have to learn new concepts, not just every week or every month or every year. You have to do that every day. Okay. That is what will make you different. So coming back to this website, I told you that every day a new technology is released. And every day, what happens is that security researchers find bugs or find vulnerabilities in those applications, in those operating systems. Okay. So for example, guys, this is Place OS. Okay, I'm not sure about Place OS. What is Place OS? Place OS, what is Place OS? Let's see. Go to address and new tab. Let's see what is Place OS. Integrate the physical with digital and then automate it. Could be a database, could be an operating system. I'm not sure. Maybe a special purpose operating system. Seems like a special purpose operating system. I'm not really sure. So a security researcher found a bug here, and this bug was placed here. Okay. So this bug is published in the database. Okay. This is something, uh, not basic. This is something very technical. Let's talk about iOS. iPhone का नया operating system आया, iOS 15. Okay. iOS 15, I write vulnerabilities. Apple admits iOS 15 has unpatched iPhone security flaws. Okay. Windows has them. Mac OS has vulnerabilities. सब में vulnerabilities होती हैं. So when you get patches, make sure you install them as soon as possible. If you guys are still running Windows 7, which is unpatched, I can hack you in 5 minutes. Okay, not me. Anyone can do that using a tool called Metasploit. Using a tool called Metasploit.
Hi, you are watching the recording from one of our live session. Hit like, share, and subscribe for more future updates.
So I'm going to write MSF console. People who are new to cybersecurity or learning cybersecurity, they can easily use this automated tool. There is nothing much that you have to do here. You just need to know what are you trying to hack into or what you are trying to exploit. So that can be done via such an operating, such a console. You can also, Shubham, you can also add a public IP if you know that public IP. That's difficult. Ideally, you need to be in the same network. That's when we perform our labs. But there are a lot of researchers, and you can also add the IP of a public device. Okay, so for example, if I write search Windows, there are around these many exploits for Windows. Okay, and there is a known fault in Microsoft Windows 7. So I write search eternal blue. Okay, I write search eternal blue. I'll write use to, which will use the second exploit here. And when I write options here, this is L host, this is R host. And Shubham, you can also give the public IP. That's not an issue. Got it? But you need to be knowing about the public IP. Okay, this is what can happen. Okay. I'm not saying I can do everything. I'm not an expert, but I'm telling you that you need to follow this IUU cycle. So install, update. What is U? U is uninstall. Once you're done, uninstall the application. You don't need that actually, because applications which are not there will occupy, space. They might run in the background. And as you guys have heard of Pegasus spyware, it is in the news all over the world. There are some applications which could be vulnerable to the spyware. And imagine what could happen if you do not uninstall these apps. What could they be doing in the background? They could be stealing your data. Is it understood? Is it understood to all of you? Sabko samajh aa raha? Yes or no? Is everyone able to understand this? Everyone knows about applications. What are applications? General purpose applications. This, that. I'm not telling you to learn this or learn that. Yes, Shubham, I'll talk about Pegasus as well. Not right now. Abhi nahi kar sakta. This is IT fundamentals, right? So I'll talk about this maybe in a new video uh, on the networking channel, or I will actually discuss this in Security Plus when we take up case studies. Okay. So guys, I'm not telling you to read this, read that. You also go to exploit DB. No, don't do that. Just follow this simple cycle. IUU. Install, update, uninstall. Let's suppose you guys go to Goa, right? You must have been to Goa, or you are planning to go to Goa. They have well, if use the taxi service there, it's expensive. It's expensive. Just giving you an example. They have their own app actually. It's by the Goa government. It's known as Goa Miles. It's known as Goa Miles. When you go there, you are going to use this app. It's going to be very cheap for you. Trust me. So if you guys go to Goa, in this year or maybe next year, if you have to travel around without renting a scooty or a car, you use this app. It's going to be super cheap. But when you've come back to your city, do you really need this app? Tell me. Suppose you guys are from Punjab, so you come back to Punjab. Do you need this app anymore? No, right? Not at all. So why keep it there? This is something that that you guys know. I'm nobody to tell you about all this. I'm not trying to uh, you know tell you that you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. You're not kids. But again, you follow this life cycle and you will see that you will never die out of space on your mobile or on your laptop, and you will never face security issues. Okay, so try to do that. So yeah, this is what I had in mind. IUU cycle. I actually wanted to talk about this because all of you know what applications are, but I wanted to talk about something different today. Okay. Then I've discussed file extensions, how you can change file extensions, what are file extensions. Then coming to Wi-Fi. Okay, because I could talk about how to connect your device to a network as well. I mean to the Ethernet cable as well. But since most of you are watching this through your phone or through your laptop, which is wirelessly connected to the router, let's talk about Wi-Fi. And a lot of people have questions related to Wi-Fi as well. So I'll talk about what kind of Wi-Fi terminologies you should be aware of. Okay. So yes, Shubham, there are some platforms. About dfir.com is one of the platform. Okay. Now I don't want to self market myself. I don't want to tell you more about my stuff, but actually I there is a website called aboutdfir.com. This website is managed by uh, a company from the United States that deals with cyber forensics. Okay, this is the list which will take care of all the you know recent cybersecurity case studies or cyber forensics case studies. I myself published a case study on Amazon Echo, security analysis of Amazon Echo. Okay, it's right here. You can see this IoT forensics, finding reliable resources of evidence from Amazon Echo. This has been written by me, Adhirath Kapoor. It's also there on Google Scholar. It's available for free. You can read it from IEEE. Okay, or you can also refer to this article. Not just my article. Like I said, I'm not here to market my skills or anything like that. I just want to tell you that most of the stuff on the internet is here related to cyber forensics, mobile forensics, search engine forensics, anything related to cyber forensics is here. Okay, Shubham and everyone else. So this is about dfir.com. Okay. So this has been managed by a company called Kroll, Kroll. This is a company in from New York that deals with cybersecurity investigation, corporate investigations, and risk consulting. Okay, so that's the company. Okay, now coming back to our topic, which is Wi-Fi. You know what Wi-Fi is, how do you connect to it? But let's talk about some of the options that are available when we actually connect to the internet, when we have to set up our Wi-Fi. So I'll go here. So yeah, Janita, for GRC, okay, governance, risk, and compliance, there are certifications. Uh, there are certifications from ISO. We also have a course on GRC, okay, at networkings. But uh, there are a few certifications for that, not a lot of them. And if you have to learn GRC for free, I'll tell you after the end of the class. Do remind me today because today is the last day, right? So tell me about it. Talk, okay, just remind me about it. I'll tell you how you can learn GRC for free. So I write 192.168.1.1. This is basically something, okay, this is actually the interface of my wireless router. Most of the wireless routers have this IP. It's the first usable IP on your network. It's also known as something which is called as a gateway. Okay, this right here is also known as a gateway. This will help me communicate with the devices on the internet or websites on the internet. So this is my gateway. This also gives me the dashboard for my wireless router. Okay, so I'll add my, yeah, yeah, this is Nokia, right, server, right. So this is my Nokia router that I got from my ISP, which is Airtel. Okay, this is the device name, serial number, blah blah blah. You are not supposed to worry about this. You should be worried about how it works. Okay, this is how you set up your Wi-Fi. Wireless status on wireless channel. This is the SSID name. Okay, so what is SSID? SSID is the name of your Wi-Fi. Name of your Wi-Fi. Okay. What's more important in order to save yourself from, you know, anyone who's trying to access your network for free, or anyone who's, sitting outside your house on their bikes and trying to access your Wi-Fi for free, you should actually try to enable encryption there. You should try to enable encryption there. Okay. What is, everyone knows how to set up their Wi-Fi. It's simple, but I actually want to talk about these terms: WPA, WPA2, WPA2, PSK. Okay. Do you guys know about it? What are these? Okay. So guys, we have Wi-Fi. We have Wi-Fi security standards. We have Wi-Fi security standards. So the first one that we got was WEP. It was WEP. It was the first ever security standard that was, created. It's known as Wired Equivalent Protocol. Now, what it used to do, it used to provide security, but the security mechanisms used there, the algorithms used there, the hashing algorithms used there were very, very weak. They were literally very weak. That is why anyone could, hack into your Wi-Fi network with their Android phones as well. So then they started using WPA, which is Wi-Fi protected access. Okay, it's known as Wi-Fi protected access. It started using a protocol known as TKIP. Okay, temporal key protocol. It's used for, adding an extra layer of security. It's used for adding integrity to your Wi-Fi network so that you can know nobody compromised it. Okay, but again, could be could be cracked into, could be hacked into. So then we have what we have: WPA2, and WPA2 comes in two methods. One is PSK and the other one is EAP. So these days, if you have your Wi-Fi running on your, in your home, change it from WPA to WPA2 and use a PSK. Okay, PSK is known as pre-shared key, which is actually available for us. Okay, which is actually available for us. Then for enterprises, or if you are able to set up a security server called Radius, we are going to discuss Radius, EAP, PSK, TKIP, each and everything inside what? Inside Network Plus, Server Plus, and Security Plus. This is what we are going to discuss in detail at that time. Just wanted to tell you what are these. These are security standards. Okay. So what do they do? WEP, WPA, and WPA2. WPA2 comes with two options: PSK and EAP. And now in 2019, we also got WPA3. Okay, which is not available to all of us right now. Okay, let's go to security. Okay, in your home network, you can also set up a simple firewall. Yes, Vishal, I'll come to that. You can set up a simple firewall. Okay, you can look at the security levels. You can create a MAC filter. You can add only those MACs which will be allowed in your home network. Okay, if anyone else wants to come in, they will be banned from entering your network. You can also set up IP filters. So any IP that you require, you can permit it or you can deny it. So like here you have accept and drop. You want that IP to access your network, you will put it in accept. If you don't want it to be there, you can drop it. Then you have URL filters for websites, which you can block. Okay. So if you have kids at your home and you don't want them to use specific websites, you can use the URL filter and so on. Okay. Then you also have something which is known as access control. And how does this work? Which protocols can you enable or disable? Now, access control list is a topic which is discussed in detail in CCNA. Okay. And we are going to talk about that as well there. So I just want to give you an overview. Now comes my favorite topic. If you have a computer, maybe at some point of time, you would have been hit by a attack. You would have been hit by an attack, maybe ransomware or malware or a small virus try to attack your computer. Or if you are not keeping a good cyber hygiene, then you might get hit by such attacks in the future, right? Yes, like Sarwar said, your WordPress website has been hacked into many times, right? So just want to give you an example, guys. Now, Sarwar here among us told us that his WordPress website was attacked. You know how easy it is to attack a WordPress website? On Kali Linux, there is a tool present here which is known as WP scan, WordPress scan. It has everything that an attacker needs to hack into passwords, to find out the usernames, to find out what directories are there on your WordPress website. Okay, which brings me to today's topic, cybersecurity. Now, what is cybersecurity? If you go by a bookish definition, then what is it going to be? Protection of computers and networks from compromise of sensitive information, right? But these days, in this era, the whole landscape of cybersecurity has changed. Earlier, you used to have just computers, you just used to have mobile phones, tablets, that's it, right? What else do we have now? What else do we have now? We have IoT devices. You know how many of those IoT devices are there? 22 billion. 22 billion IoT devices. Imagine that. Don't you want to secure them? Yes or no? Most of these IoT devices work with default passwords और generic passwords. मतलब कि जो password पहले से रखे होते हैं, admin password, right? These devices are vulnerable. These devices are small in size. That is why a lot of research is going on in the world how you can secure these devices. Okay. Last year, I was working on a research project where I was trying to, work with, or I was trying to enhance the protocols used for IoT in military. पता है किसी को IoT military में भी use होती है? Yes or no? You have smart vests, jackets होती है ना? You have smart vests so that you can find out that a soldier, you can find out the health of a soldier if it is good or bad. You have drones. You have, you know, you have smart and tactical clothing for your soldiers. They're all controlled by IoT. Okay, so you need to secure them. And again, फिर से आपको लगेगा मैं marketing कर रहा हूँ, but it was a great day for me yesterday. My article got published, so yeah, right, on IEEE. Adhirath Kapoor. I worked with my team on this project called Perils and Applications of IoT Security in Military Operations. Okay, it's there on IEEE.org. Okay, here we are talking about how we can actually try to improve the security in military based applications that are using IoT devices. Okay, And as you can see, I am not the first author here. I used to work as a professor at a university. So I actually had my student do it. So it's completely possible, guys. So some of you will get enrolled in the course further. Okay. I see some of you getting enrolled in the course further. A plus, network plus, security plus, and so on. And whenever we do something, which is interesting, which is network plus or security plus, I tell my students, and students ask me a lot of questions. That is why मैं सबको बोलता हूँ मेरे से questions पूछो, because unless and until आप मेरे से questions नहीं पूछोगे, you won't get it. And what happens when you are teaching or when you are interacting with students is that a lot of students come up with really great ideas, which can be considered as a research topic, and we can actually publish our research here. If our research is good, we can even go up and we can file a patent for that. We can file a patent for that. You can commercialize that, guys. मैं आपको वही बोल रहा हूँ. There are endless possibilities. All you need to do is just ask. आप पढ़ रहे हो, focus on it. Just don't attend a class कि बाकी लोग कर रहे हैं. Others, my friends are taking this course. I cannot stay behind, so I'm also going to enroll for this course. No, don't do that. If you are going to enroll for that course, you are spending your hard earned money or your parents hard earned money. So try to focus and try to come up with new ideas. So again, this was an idea that was actually brought up by my student. His name is Anirudra Gupta. Just letting you know, right now for a company called VTF, Virtually Testing Foundation, that is running a web application penetration testing internship. He's the internship manager there. He's in sixth semester of his college. He's in the sixth semester of his college, and he's the internship manager for VTF. You guys can go to LinkedIn. Uh, there are many internships, provided by a company called Virtually Testing Foundation. You can go through that. We wrote this research paper. It got published, and he also got a lot of great opportunities, but not because of me, because he found out this topic. That is what I'm telling you. So ask me questions. Questions nahi puchoge if you don't ask innovative questions, and sirf if you just keep on just following the syllabus and you don't think out of the box, you will never be different from others. Everyone gets a job in the end, but how do you come up, how do you move ahead in your career? You need to think about a lot of things from different perspectives. Okay. So it's not difficult. Doesn't mean that it's very difficult. Even you can publish your research if you have a good idea in your mind. Okay. So with so many devices, with IoT devices there, and now we also have something known as operational technology. Now, what is operational technology? Have you seen big plants, like not the plants I'm talking about, industrial plants? Industrial plants, they say, like I'm talking about car factories, I'm talking about textile factories, I'm talking about nuclear plants. They have their own operational technology. They have their specific operating systems. These are also under threats. Let me tell you, in Iran, in I guess 2014 or 15, I'm not aware of the date, there was an attack. There was actually an attack called Stuxnet. Iran had a centrifugal plant. They had a centrifugal technology plant somewhere there. So what happened is that some attacker placed they some attacker kept random USB drives. He placed random USB drives near the building and in the building, right? So what happened? Somebody from that office took that USB drive. उसने वो USB drive ली and he plugged it in into the computer. The computer that was running operational technology. Operational technology is different. It's a special purpose operating system. What happened? The whole centrifuge was shut down. Imagine the damage or the loss of money caused to Iran at that time. And right now, people in the Middle East, people in uh, uh, people in Saudi Arabia, people in Dubai, they have to learn cybersecurity. It's becoming mandatory for them. Okay, because cybersecurity is like the fourth warfare. Okay, we have land warfare, which is dealt by the army. We have air warfare, which is dealt by the air force. We have water warfare by marines, and now we have cyber warfare. We have cyber warfare. This is the fourth one. Okay. So unless and until you learn cybersecurity, well, I'm not saying you should go with cybersecurity. You can go with servers, you can go with data centers, you can go with networking, you can go with cloud, whatever you want. But cyber warfare is real. US pipelines were attacked. Okay. A lot of companies are hiring for cybersecurity experts. No one is actually a cybersecurity expert, because to become a cybersecurity expert, you need to spend each and every day of your life learning. There are new vulnerabilities every day. You can just become a subject matter expert in one domain of cybersecurity. Okay. So after combining all this, plus what else do you have? Tesla is going to be launched in India. There have been attacks on Tesla as well. Security researchers ने क्या किया था? They try to see if a Tesla can be hacked, or the smart vehicles. Now you have Hummer electric vehicle as well. You have Hummer EV as well. So now you have smart vehicles as well. And there is a new domain. It's called automotive cybersecurity. Automotive cybersecurity. There was a new car launched, I guess, a few days ago in India called the MG ZS. What's the name? Is that the name? MG ZS or MG EV? What is the name for that car? Something similar, right? This car has AI inbuilt in it. Okay. What if you hack into this AI and then the AI starts responding in a negative manner to the car owner? Can lead to an attack, right? So when we have to talk about cybersecurity, so what is cybersecurity? Cybersecurity is basically a domain which deals with the security of anything. This is what I wrote. This is my creation. Is security of anything that is connected to a network, either public or private. Is that a simple definition? Is this definition okay? क्योंकि कोई भी चीज जो नेटवर्क के साथ कनेक्टेड है, either it is private or it is connected to a public network, which is your internet, we have to secure that. Could be your Apple smart tag, which is AirTag, could be your phone, could be your smart coffee maker, could be your smart vehicle. Is it okay or no? Yes or no, guys and girls? Is this the right definition for cybersecurity? So did you understand what cybersecurity is? And what is there inside cybersecurity? All the domains: penetration testing, ethical hacking, malware analysis, digital forensics, incident response, smart vehicle hacking, SIEM configuration, identity and access management. Everything will be discussed in security plus. Okay. What else do we have? We just have a few slides, just 2 or 3 slides now. So we are just going to finish this up. So coming to troubleshooting. Now, what is troubleshooting? Troubleshooting is just a basic approach to solve a problem, right? Yeah, the lectures will be there. This lecture is also going to be on YouTube. Don't worry at all. Hai kya troubleshooting? Basically, troubleshooting is something that even you can do it, or troubleshooting is something that you can't do it by yourself, and you require what? You require a professional help. Okay. Now, troubleshooting is as easy as finding out some answers on the internet, or it could be technical. So, like, suppose I'll tell you what happened with my previous laptop. I was using Parrot on it. I was actually using Parrot OS on it.
Hi, you are watching the recording from one of our live session. Hit like, share, and subscribe for more future updates.
It's an old laptop, but when I upgraded my system, it stopped recognizing my battery. It stopped recognizing my battery. The battery that I bought was really new. I bought a new battery. The laptop is old, but with that upgrade, it stopped recognizing my battery. For a few days, I thought that there is something wrong with the battery. But then after searching here or there and finding out, I just wrote Parrot OS upgrade battery not recognized. Okay. I checked what I could do, battery not detected. Then I went to this section here. Okay. Tells me the BIOS, there was a problem with the BIOS, there was a problem with the battery. So then I started looking into this command, inxi space minus b. It tells me that the battery is connected or not. Okay. Then I started looking for more options like inxi minus b kya karta hai. So I searched this on Google. Okay, so what is this? This is a CLI information tool. What it does is that it is going to tell me about my batteries. So looking at this, I started finding information about the drivers. Then related to drivers, I was able to find out that there is a small script that you need to edit, which is ACPL battery Linux. Okay, so this is what I found on the internet. 5 ways to check laptop battery status and level from Linux terminal. I changed the command and finally I was able to get my battery there. So something was not available in the command. I had to edit it with the root access and everything started working properly. Okay. So like I said, if you have to learn a lot of stuff by yourself, Google it. If it's a normal problem, you can solve it by yourself. But if it's a problem with your hardware components, motherboard के ऊपर कोई problem है, don't just open up your computer and start playing with stuff. At that time, you need professional help, right? So more on troubleshooting when we start A plus, a lot actually on troubleshooting when we start A plus. Okay, then comes database. So database is something that is required in a lot of applications, required in a web application, required in data centers, required in required by a lot of organizations when they have to store a lot of user data. Okay, and it is actually written in DBMS. Okay, no, sorry, my bad. मैंने जल्दी जल्दी में बोल दिया. So the language that is used for databases is SQL. Okay, it's SQL, structured query language. So when you have to deal with a lot of data, okay, not just on your computer, because if you have to find files, you can do this easily. You can go here and you can find these files, right? Hakina. But if there is a lot of user data, not just yours, a lot of people, 100, 200, then at that time, you cannot just store it on your computer. You require a database, a real database, which will be managed by or controlled by a database management system. And when you have to retrieve that data, जैसे यहाँ पे, if I have to retrieve my data, what will I do? I'll go here. I just search for it. What is this? This is also known as a query. Query तो है. I'm trying to find out मेरी file कहाँ पे? Where is my file? So similarly, for big databases, what do you have? You have a language called structure query language, which is like a programming language, which helps you in writing data to a database and reading data from a database. And you can even search for a lot of stuff. Again, more on database when we go to Server Plus. Yes, SQL, MySQL. No, so they are from different vendors. There is a little difference between how you know write those commands, but most of them use SQL for writing down queries. Okay. You also have MS SQL by Microsoft Server. Okay, server. Got it. And then coming to the last topic of today, which is programming. Okay. Let's talk about computer programming. Computer programming is something that we all shy away from, right? बहुत मुश्किल है, कौन पढ़ेगा? कैसे करना है? I had the same issue when I started out, when I started programming. One thing in programming, you can never follow the herd mentality. अगला बंदा AI सीख रहा है, I should also go for AI. अगला बंदा web development सीख रहा है, I should also go for web development. First of all, try to experiment with all those domains. Try to experiment with all those domains. Try to see if that is for you. There are free resources for learning programming. You want to see one? Let me show you. There is a website called freecodecamp.org. There is a website called freecodecamp.org. Here, what you can do is if you go to this website, you have free certifications and you have all the topics. This is for HTML and CSS, जो web के लिए use होता है. This is for JavaScript. This is for data visualization for AI and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning. You have Python, where you will start from the very basics of Python. Then you also have information security based programming, scripting, जो हम Python को use करके करते हैं, और we can use a language like Go, ठीक है? And then you also have coding interview preparations, so that if you have to go for a coding interview after your college or for your job, you can prepare through this. There are free resources, and यहाँ पे आपको सबसे basic से start करना है. You don't want a software on your operating system, don't do that. You go here, click on this exercise, देखो यहाँ पे what needs to be done. What do you need to do? You need to write h1 and /h1, and you need to write hello world. You run the test, you are good to go. It's the most easiest exercise here. You will have hard exercises as well, but you will have to start from the scratch. Okay, so for example, you have to learn Python. Python कैसे काम करता है? Why program? What is Python? What are functions in Python? It's there. You have question and answers. You have videos. Okay, you can create a formatter here, arithmetic formatter. Got it? Is it understood to all of you? समझ आ रहा है? And then these days you've got new programming languages as well. You've got new programming languages as well, which is one of them is Solidity. सबने blockchain के बारे में सुना होगा. ये blockchain क्या है? Again, we'll add new videos for blockchain as well. How to create, contracts for blockchain. Blockchain पे किस तरीके से programming होती है? That's via Solidity. What is Solidity? Let me show you. I'll share a link with you guys. soliditylang.org. If you really want to learn programming, इस time पे अगर सीखना चाहते हो, I will absolutely advise you to learn Solidity. It's great. इनके अपने, they have their own tutorials which are interactive. They have their own documentations. They will tell you how to work with compilers. They will tell you each and everything. So if you start learning now, imagine after a year, you will actually thank yourself, because Solidity developers or blockchain developers are highly paid in the world, not just in India, not just in the United States, all over the world. Okay. So guys, that was all. that I had in mind for today and for these 3 days. So I hope आप लोगों को मजा आया हो. You guys had fun while this having this course. Yes, Shubham, there are different digital forensics tools as well that you can use. Free भी हैं आपके पास. One of them is autopsy. Okay, you can use autopsy to find out that data. ठीक है? So you can use that, Shubham. And guys, if you guys have any other questions, any specific questions, what you can do is you can contact networking support team and they can connect you to me and you can actually talk to me. Okay. So yes, there are malware analysis courses by networkings, which I will be teaching. And yes, I had to show GRC. So Janata, you go to a website called Moss Cyber Security Institute. They have free training on GRC. Okay. They have free training on all the frameworks. They have free training on GRC. So I'll share it with you. You create an account here. It will be all free. And we are going to discuss SAN in Server Plus. Okay. So that was all, guys. That was all that I had in mind. I hope आपको सबको पसंद आया. Okay. So thanks a lot. And I hope to meet you guys on Monday. ठीक है? Thank you, Vijay. Thanks a lot for your appreciation. ठीक है? No, programming is different domain. Okay. Programming is different domain. Yes. Okay. So that was all, guys and girls. Thanks a lot for attending. Thanks a lot for, you know, being here today with me. Okay. So you can find all the lectures on YouTube and under the networkings channel. And I really hope you enroll yourself for the CompTIA IT infrastructure. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot.